1. Introduction. My name is Sandy. I was 28 years old when I met David. He was a very kind man. He was tall with dark hair. His smile was warm and friendly. When he looked at me, I felt like I was the only person in the room. We met at a party. It was a friend's wedding party. I saw him from across the room. He walked over to me and we started to talk. We talked for a long time that night. We talked about our lives and our dreams. It felt very easy to talk to him. After the wedding party, David called me the next day. We started to talk on the phone every day. Sometimes we talked for hours. We met for coffee dates. We went for walks in the park. We watched movies at home. It was easy to be with him. Everything felt right. After only 3 months, our feelings grew very strong. I knew I loved him very much. And he told me that he loved me too. Our love was fast. Maybe it was too fast for some people, but it felt like a beautiful dream to me. He always understood me. He always listened to me. He was very good to me. One night, we were walking together by the river near my home. It was a quiet evening. He stopped walking. He turned and looked into my eyes. He took my hand in his. Then he asked me a very important question. He asked me to marry him. My heart started to beat so fast inside my chest. A big, happy smile came onto my face. I felt so incredibly happy in that moment. "Yes," I said with a strong voice. "Yes, I will marry you, David." We didn't want to wait a long time to get married. We decided to have a small wedding ceremony. Only our closest friends and family were there to share the day with us. My wedding dress was simple, but I felt very beautiful in it. David looked so handsome in his dark suit. We stood together and said our wedding promises. We promised to love each other always, in good times and bad times. I was so happy to finally be his wife. I truly thought this was the very beginning of my perfect life with the man I loved more than anything. I felt like I was the luckiest woman in the whole world. 2. A new life. Life after the wedding was different. It was not the easy, happy start I thought it would be. I married the man I loved, David, and I felt so happy. But things started to change quickly because of his mother, Karen. She did not live far from our house. She loved David very much, maybe too much. This love felt like a problem for me. Karen came to our house almost every day. She did not call before she came. She just opened the door and walked in like it was her house, not ours. Sometimes she brought food, like a cake or a meal she cooked. But mostly, she brought her presence and her control into our lives. When she came, she always sat very close to David. She talked to him all the time about everything. She asked him about his day, about his work, about his health. Then she started telling him what to do. She gave him advice about everything in his life. She said things like, "David, you should eat more vegetables, you look a little thin." Or, "David, don't stay up late tonight, you need your sleep." Or, David, wear a jacket today. It's cold outside and you don't want to get sick. David listened to her words very carefully. He often did exactly what she said. He looked like a young boy when he was with her, not a grown man who was married. It felt strange and difficult to see him act like that. I was there too, in our house, the house I shared with David. But I started to feel like I was not important. Karen did not talk to me much. She talked directly to David, or sometimes she talked about me to David while I was standing right there. I tried to be nice and friendly to her. I tried to talk to her and be a good wife to David, but it was very hard. She made me feel small. I started to feel like I was invisible in my own home. I was David's wife, but his mother was always there, always the most important person for him. I felt like an outsider in the place where I should feel most comfortable and loved. It was our house, our new life together, but it felt more like her house and her life with her son. This feeling made me very sad and lonely inside. My dream of a perfect life with David was becoming difficult and unhappy because of Karen always being between us. Every day felt the same. Karen arriving, taking all of David's attention, and me feeling more and more invisible. This was my new life after the wedding. It was not at all what I expected or wanted. 3, feeling alone. Karen was often at our house. One day, we were eating lunch. Karen looked at me. She said, "Sandy, you are very lucky to be David's wife." She said many girls wanted to marry David. She said he was a very good man. Her words made me feel small. It felt like she thought I was not good enough for her son. I did not say anything. It was hard to know what to say to her. After some time, David started coming home late. It happened often. I would wait for him. Sometimes I felt worried. Was he okay? One night he came home very late. I asked him, "Where were you?" He said, "I was with Mom. She needed help." It was always his mother. Every time he was late, he was with his mother. I started to feel like I was not important. His mother seemed more important than me. I felt very lonely. I lived with my husband, but I felt alone in our home. David was there, but he was often thinking about his mother, or he was with her. I felt like a person living in his house, not his wife. His mother was the main person in his life, not me. This feeling hurt me very much. I wanted to talk to David about how I felt. I wanted him to understand my sadness. One night, I tried to talk to him. My voice was shaking a little. "David," I said, "I feel very lonely. Your mother is here every day. You are always with her. I feel like you are not my husband sometimes. I feel alone in our marriage." David looked at me. He did not seem to understand. He sighed. "Oh, Sandy," he said, "you are too sensitive. Mom just loves me. She only wants to help. You are thinking too much about this." He did not see the problem. He thought I was just complaining. He did not understand my feelings. He did not see how his mother's actions made me feel like an outsider. This conversation made me feel even worse. David did not understand me. He did not see my loneliness. He thought the problem was me, not the situation. I felt more alone than before. I felt like I was in this marriage by myself. My perfect life did not feel perfect anymore. It felt empty and cold. 4. A big surprise. The arguments happened more often. The silence in the house was heavy. I felt like David and I were living in the same house, but in different worlds. My world felt empty. I cried alone many nights. I couldn't take it anymore. I started to think about leaving. Was this marriage really for me? Was this the life I wanted? To be always in the shadow of my husband's mother. One night, after a bad argument with David, I decided, yes, I must leave. This is not a marriage. I went to our bedroom. I quietly opened the closet. I took out a suitcase. I started to put my clothes inside. My hands were shaking. My heart was heavy, but there was also a little feeling of freedom. I packed my bags very quietly. I planned to leave early in the morning before David woke up. I put the suitcase near the door. I couldn't sleep well. I felt sick in my stomach. In the morning, I woke up feeling even more sick. My head hurt a little. My stomach felt strange. It was not just because I was sad and nervous about leaving. I walked to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror. I saw my sad face. Then I thought about the sickness. Could it be? I thought for a minute, yes, maybe. I went to the small cabinet. I found a box. I took out a test, a pregnancy test. My hands were shaking more now. I did the test. I waited. The minutes felt like hours. Then I looked at the test. It was positive. I was pregnant. My eyes became wide. For a second, I couldn't believe it. Then a mix of feelings came over me. My heart jumped. Tears came to my eyes, but this time they were different tears. Tears of surprise, of fear, but also of a strange hope. I cried, and a little smile came to my face at the same time. A baby, our baby, a new life. Maybe this baby was our chance. Maybe this baby could fix everything. Maybe now David would change. Maybe now he would see our family, not just his old family. Maybe his mother would step back. A baby was hope. A baby could be the start of our real marriage, our real family. I decided not to leave, not now. This baby was my last hope. I wanted to tell David in a special way, that night, with candles, a nice dinner. I went to the store. I bought a very tiny, cute pair of baby shoes. They were so small, so full of hope. I put them in a little gift box. 5, a bad day. That afternoon, I was busy. I cleaned the house carefully. I wanted it to look very nice. Then I went to the kitchen. I wanted to make a special dinner for David. It was his favorite food, chicken. I felt a little nervous, but also happy. I hoped this dinner would be the start of something better for us. I put the table ready for dinner. I put out our best plates. I placed 2 candles on the table. It looked romantic. Then I took the small gift box. Inside the box were the tiny baby shoes I bought. I put the box on David's plate. It looked small and important there. I thought about how David would open it. I hoped he would smile. I finished cooking the food. It smelled very good in the house. I was just taking the food to the table. I heard a sound. The front door opened. It was not locked. Karen was here. She never knocked. She just walked in like always. My happy feeling went away quickly. Oh no, I thought, not now. She came into the dining room. She stopped walking. She saw the table. She saw the candles and the nice food. Then she saw the small box on David's plate. Her eyes looked hard. She walked closer to the table. She picked up the little box. She looked at it, then she looked at me. Her face was not friendly. "What is this?" she asked. Her voice was cold. I felt my heart beat faster. "It's a gift," I said softly. She opened the box. She saw the tiny baby shoes. Her eyes opened wide. Then her face changed. It became very, very angry. It was a terrible look. "What does this mean?" she asked loudly. I took a deep breath. I had to tell her. "Karen," I said, "I am pregnant. I am going to have a baby." For a second, she did not speak. Then she made a sound that was like a laugh, but full of anger. "Pregnant," she shouted. "Pregnant, no, it cannot be David's baby." My stomach felt sick. "Yes, of course it is David's. What are you saying?" Her face was red now. Her eyes were like fire. "You bad girl," she screamed. "You lied. You did this to trap my son. You cannot have his baby. It is not his." Her words were like hard stones hitting me. Trap David, lie about a baby. How could she think this? I was his wife. "No," I said, "that is not true. It is David's baby." She walked quickly to me. Her hand went up in the air. I saw it, but I could not move. I shook my head slowly, trying to say no. Then her hand hit my face very hard. Slap! The sound was very loud. My cheek felt hot. It hurt a lot. My head hurt too. I put my hand on my face. Tears came quickly to my eyes. My body started to shake. She slapped me. My husband's mother just hit me in my own house. Because I told her I was having her grandchild. I could not believe it. 6, a hard choice. I do not know how long I stood there. My face felt hot and hurt. Karen was still standing in the dining room. She was breathing fast. She did not look sorry. She still looked angry. Soon I heard the front door open again. David was home. He walked inside. He saw the strange picture. The table was set for dinner. Candles were lit. I was standing there. My hand was on my face and I was crying. His mother was standing there too, looking angry. "What is happening?" David asked. His voice sounded tired. I tried to speak, but it was hard. My voice shook. She slapped me," I said. I pointed to Karen. David looked at me, then he looked at his mother. Karen walked slowly to a chair. She sat down. She looked calm now, like nothing bad happened. She even reached for the teapot on the table. "Mom, did you slap Sandy?" David asked his mother directly. Karen looked at David. Her voice was low and calm. "Yes, I did, David," she said. "I had to. She told me she is pregnant, but I do not believe her. She is lying about the baby. She wants to trap you. I could not let her do that." David looked at his mother. Then he looked back at me. My face was red and wet with tears. He could see the mark on my cheek. He did not speak for a long time. It felt like a very long time. The room was quiet. My heart was beating very fast. This was the moment he had to make a choice. Me, his wife, or his mother. I watched him. He looked from me to Karen. His face showed he was thinking very hard. I held my breath. Would he believe her? Would he think I was a bad person? After all the problems, would he just agree with his mother? Then he took a breath. He stood a little taller. He looked at me again. I saw something in his eyes. Sadness, yes, but also something new. Maybe he understood now. "I believe Sandy," David said clearly. His voice was not shaking. Karen's head moved up fast. Her calm face changed quickly. Her eyes became wide with anger again. "What did you say?" she asked. Her voice was suddenly loud. "I said, I believe Sandy," David repeated. He looked at his mother. "She is my wife. This is my baby." Karen stood up fast. The chair made a loud noise. "David," she shouted. She pointed at me. "If you stay with her after she lies about my grandchild, if you choose her over me," her voice was full of anger, "then you are no son of mine. You are not my son anymore." David was shaking now, but he did not look away from her. He stood strong. "Then," he said, his voice was quiet but strong, "if I must choose, then I am not your son anymore." Karen made a terrible sound. It was like crying and shouting together. "Fine," she shouted. "Fine, you want her, you can have her, but do not come back to me later." She said more bad things. She was very, very angry. She walked fast to the door. She did not look back. She just opened the door and left. The door closed loudly behind her. Then it was quiet. David and I were standing there. The dinner was getting cold. The candles were still burning. My face still hurt. 7, a quiet house. Karen left. The door closed loudly. Then it was quiet. David walked to me. He gently touched my face. He saw the red mark there. He looked very sad. "Sandy," he whispered, "I am so sorry for everything." I just cried. He put his arms around me. He held me tight. I felt his body shaking a little. We stood there for a long time, just holding each other. It felt like he was my husband again, truly, after many months. Karen did not call for many weeks. David did not call her either. The house was strange without her. It was quiet, but it was a good quiet, a peaceful quiet. David and I started talking again. We talked a lot. We talked about the problems. He listened this time. He told me he was sorry. Sorry for not seeing how his mother hurt me. Sorry for hurting us. He understood now. He knew he had to put me and our baby first. We were his main family now. We started to fix our relationship. It was not easy. The past problems were still there, but David tried very hard. He worked to be a better husband. He listened to me. He spent time with me. He put our family first, and I tried too. I tried to forgive. I tried to build something new with him. We went to the doctor together. It was exciting and a little scary. We saw the baby on a screen. It was just a little shape, but it had a heartbeat. We heard it. Bump, 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 bump. It was a beautiful sound. David held my hand very tightly. His eyes were full of wonder. He smiled at me. Holding my hand at the doctor, seeing our baby, David seemed like a different man. A man who was ready to be a father and a husband. We felt like a real team, working together for us, for our baby. We were building a new kind of love, not the fast, easy love from the start. This love was tested. It had pain. But now it had truth and effort from both of us. It felt stronger, more solid. 8, a new start. 9 months after that difficult day, our baby boy was born. He was small and strong. He had 10 fingers and 10 toes. He had dark, soft hair like David. When David held our son for the first time, he was very happy. He looked at the baby's small face with great love. He said, "Hello, little man." His voice was not strong. He looked at me and said, "Thank you, Sandy. You gave me everything. This baby showed me what was important." Our baby made our lives very happy. David was a very good father. He helped with the baby. He changed his clothes, he walked him to sleep, and he played with him. Our house felt like a real home now. It was full of love and the sounds of a baby. One afternoon, my phone rang. It was Karen. I felt a little nervous. She had not called for many weeks. She sounded tired on the phone. She asked if she could visit. She said she wanted to see the baby. I thought about it. David said it was my choice. In the end, I said yes. It felt like the right time. Karen came a few days later. She brought a small plant. She looked thin. Her face seemed softer than before. She looked nervous. She asked to see the baby. I took her to the room. Our son was sleeping in his bed. Karen walked slowly to the bed. She looked at the baby. She did not touch him at first. Tears came to her eyes. She said softly, "He looks like David when he was a baby." She stayed there for a long time, just watching him. She did not talk about the past problems right away. I just watched her. She looked tired and old. She did not have that proud, angry look in her eyes now. Later, when the baby was awake, she held him for a few minutes. Her hands were shaking a little. She gave him back to me. Before she left, she looked at me. It was hard for her to speak, I could see. "Sandy," she said quietly, "I was wrong about everything, about you, about the baby." She stopped. "I am very, very sorry." She looked at me, waiting for me to say something. I just nodded my head. That was enough for me. She understood now. She was sorry. We did not become best friends. That was not possible. But it felt like things could be peaceful now. She never slapped me again. She came sometimes to see the baby, but she always called first. She was quiet when she visited. And David? David was always there for me and for our son. He never left my side again. That small box with the tiny baby shoes, I keep it in the bedroom. It is a reminder of a hard day that started something new, the day we became a real family.